Hi, Core 2 students. This is the second part of a three-part presentation on identifying sources. In the first video, I said 2 parts, but YouTube fought with me. So we're up to 3, and it will only be 3. Anyways, after you watch this part of the presentation, continue on to the last part. So in part 1 of this presentation, we covered the differences in primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. We're going to build on that information here. So if you need a refresher, go back to part 1 before continuing on. Part 2 of this presentation is going to go deeper into secondary sources. We're going to talk about journalism sources, and then in the final installment, we'll discuss scholarly sources. Quality journalism is essential to understanding the world we live in. Local journalism is especially important to understanding politics and issues on a local level. Baltimore has a well-respected local newspaper, the Baltimore Sun, that focuses on issues facing Baltimore and the surrounding area. Other local journalism sources include magazines like Baltimore Magazine, television news, and independent news sources like the Baltimore Afro-American. Journalism sources fit into 3 main categories: news articles, long form or essay journalism, and editorials or opinion writing. News sources report evidence as they happen, ideally via reporters on the scene. Well-trained journalists keep their articles fact-based and unbiased. Nevertheless, biases may be present, depending on the place of publication. It's up to you to think critically about news sources and understand that if that news source has a particular point of view, newspaper articles tend to be considered primary sources because they record the events as they're happening in time. Long form or essay journalism goes deep into a topic, often examining multiple points of view. Unlike shorter news sources, long form journalism might make an argument based on the evidence at hand. Therefore, these are best considered secondary sources. Long-form journalism pieces often take months to report and write. The best long-form journalism is carefully fact-checked and quite authoritative. You'll find long-form and essay journalism in news magazines like The Atlantic and in major newspapers such as The Washington Post. Opinion journalism and editorials present an argument about a particular topic. Where opinion journalism is authored by columnists and opinion writers, editorials are often unsigned. They're considered to be the voice of the entire newspaper. These articles are best considered persuasive essays. Their purpose is to get you to believe their argument. The best opinion journalism is well-researched and fact-checked. But a lot of times, opinion journalism can be pretty opinionated. Therefore, it's important to double-check ideas that you get from opinion journalism. We'll move on to the next part in the final installment of this exciting and absolutely riveting video series on identifying sources.